Hello, friends. Good day. How are you doing? How has been your day? So, today I'm going to be running you through how to make a dishwashing liquid soap for your souvenir. So, the cup I'm holding is a 5 liter keg, and that drum is literally empty. So, I'm going to be producing a 50 liters production. But underneath this video, I'll put the measurement I'm using. Literally, that measurement is 100 liters. When you want to produce that 100 liters, you will get like 230 liters production. So for this, I'm doing 50 liters and I'll be splitting that measurement into four. So I'm working with quarter of that measurement. I'm going to attach it under this video. Please do well to read thoroughly, comment if you have any question. But please do not share these videos out of this group. It's strictly for my returning students and for my new students. I'm so happy to have all you new students on board. Thank you. My name is Olamide Akintolu and I am your favorite liquid soap coach. So let's start. So this is me trying to measure the water accurately. So this cup, like I said, is a 5 liters cup. And now right here I've measured 6. We are going to 10. That's the seventh one. And then we go in with the eighth what's it called? Water. And then we count the 9 and the 10. So basically I just want you to know that you really don't need hand mixer. You can start small, and in this production I'll be making use of my wooden spatula so that you know that you can do this. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do. You don't have to break the bank to start this production. So my 50 liters water is complete. This is the water we'll be using for every production we need. We're not taking any water outside of this. So let's start with our first So our first measurement is to measure our caustic soda. I'm working on my caustic soda right here and we'll be needing 500 gram. But I think I ran out of some of my chemicals, but I needed to shoot this video. So in case you're watching, this is me measuring my caustic soda, and everything I have at home is what I'll be using. I think this is about 200 and what's it called, 62 gram that I have. So that is what I'll be working with for this production. Like I said, we are producing a 25 liters product and we are going to be achieving 50 liters measurement. Please try to listen and watch this all over again, and please get your pen and your paper to write everything I'm saying. Once you measure it out, you bring out your plastic so that you can soak all of this solution. So we want to prep our caustic soda solution. This is me getting a 5 liters water. I'm going to pour it into this plastic and then I pour in my chemicals into water. Please do not pour water into chemicals. Like you can see me right here, I'm going to take my caustic soda and I'll pour it inside the water, give it a good mix for about 5 minutes thereabout, and I'll set aside. Whenever you're working on your scale, remember to always place your plastic or your container on it before turning it on, and if you had placed it, please turn it off and turn it on again so that you can have accurate measurements. So I'm still stirring my caustic soda here. I'm done stirring and I'm going to set aside and go on to the next measurement. I want to plan to measure my SLS rice. Remember that this is a recorded video. Some part have been cut off and some have been speed up. So I'm going to measure my SLS rice. We need 700 gram for this production. Remember, I'm going to be attaching the measurements below, and please do not share this video out. Please like, subscribe and comment. So when you measure your SLS rice, you also pre-soak that for at least 2, 3, 4, 5 hours before production. Everything would have become water by the time you want to start using it for your production. I hope you are following. Please let me know if you understand everything I'm saying. This is a souvenir job that I got. So if you want to achieve your souvenir musical product, please work with this recipe and come back to say thank you. When you're done measuring your SLS rice, grab your container, pour in your water, and then pre-soak the chemical. So remember, you pour chemical into water and not water into chemical, please. This SLS rice looks like the regular rice grain that we have at home. So it is very important because it makes your soup to really lather well. It is a foaming agent and it is what every foam formulator use in their production. I hope you are following. Thank you for staying true and thank you for being patient. So this is me setting my SLS aside just so I can soak it, and this is my container. I'd label it SLS rice. I'm measuring another 5 liters. I'm scooping out all of this water from the drum, from the blue drum we pre put water earlier before. So you give it a good mix, like I said, about 5 minutes. Stir it very well so that the chemical does not settle at the base of your container. And this is me stirring my SLS rice because it can cake up if you do not stir well. So I'm going to set this aside to also settle while I move to the next chemical. The next one is sodium sulfate. So for dishwashing, I love dishwashing a lot because you don't have so many chemicals you're working with. But back to what we're saying, sodium sulfate, we need about 1 kg, that's 1000 gram of measurement. So you're going to pre-soak this as well in a 10 liters water. Do you understand? So I'm measuring my sodium sulfate. It is sodium sulfate, not sodium sulfide. Sodium sulfate is quite affordable. It should not be more than 1000 to 15 as at the time we're recording this video, but it's not as expensive as Texapon and Co. So once you're done measuring your sodium sulfate, make sure it is accurate. Make sure that you do your mathematics well. Remember, we are working with different chemicals to make our product. So this is my 1000 gram of sodium sulfate, and I have labeled my container, and I'll be using 10 liters per water to soak it because sodium sulfate doesn't dissolve like really quick. So I'm going to put in the next water and I would soak my sodium sulfate. Remember, you pour chemical into water and not the other way around. I hope you are following. After pouring it, give it a very good mix for about 5 minutes, like I said, and do not rush it, please. Keep out of children. Make sure you soak at least 2 to 4 hours before production. Some people soak these chemicals a night before, but please, until you become a pro or an expert before you start soaking your chemicals overnight. And remember, you do not soak your nitrosol, you do not soak your Texapon and sulfonic. No, we don't do that here. So you give it a good mix for 5 minutes at least. You can see the way I'm doing it. I'm taking my time so that you can also understand better. For some of you that want to get a transparent soap, this is the way to go about it. Please give it a very good mix and set aside. Once you're done setting it aside, then we'll move to the next product. But this pre-soaked stuff I'm doing, I think I was preparing to go to church and I needed to quickly do a recording and upload for you all. So I think I started my measurement and my soaking at exactly 9 a.m. in the morning, so that by the time I'm back from church, exactly this is 9 a.m. So by the time I'm back from church, it is all settled and I'm ready for production. So I'm working with 3 measuring cups in my video. I'm working with the 5 liters, which I will label A, and I'm working with 1 liter, which I'm going to label B, and then the C is a 250 ml cup. Are you getting? Please do well to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and do not share, please. Thank you for staying true. Let's move on to the next measurements. Please do not rush your production. You cannot produce within an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. Please take out your time to go through your formula. So the next chemical we're working with is a sulfonic acid, not sulfuric. Some people call it sulfuric. It is sulfonic acid, and we are working with 1000 gram, which is 1 kg. right? And then I'm not sure this is even up to 1 liter. I really ran out of a lot of chemicals, so please just bear with me and try to get the message. But the measurement, I'm going to attach it. I've said this over and so I for sulfonic acid, after measuring it out, you get your big container because it's going to double, if I can quadruple in size. Use your silicone spatula to clean the measuring container. Make sure you scoop out every drop of sulfonic from your measuring bowl. Put it in a clean, dry, bigger bowl, not the white one. And please, this chemical, we do not soak it overnight or soak it way longer before we start producing. And the next chemical we are working with is Texapon. It looks like gel. Texapon and sulfonic are very good combination. And then the goal at which we combine both is to change the goal is to change the color of sulfonic from brown to white, and also give our soap a very rich lather, and also give it a very good consistency. So I'm measuring my Texapon. I got this Texapon a day too, so I couldn't transfer into my Texapon container bowl. So after measuring the Texapon, you also go in and add it into the sulfonic acid mixture that we have in our bigger bowl. Please always wear your glove. Rub your skin with glycerin before you start production. Don't be so eager to produce. Production doesn't just happen like boom. You have to plan, you have to take out your time and understand the measurement you're working with. So if you want to achieve a 150 liters production or 500 ml, just simply divide 500 by 150 and I think you will have 300 pieces, if I am right. So when you pour in your Texapon into your sulfonic acid, you give it a very good mix. You combine these two really well. Make sure you combine it very well before you start adding your water bit by bit. This is the most stressful part of the production, and you have to do this to get that. This is the water I'm working with. This is my 5 liters water. I will put it by my side and I will keep adding bit by bit. If I should leave this video the way it is, it took me about 1 hour plus to achieve the consistency I want. So this is me mixing together before I added my water. So the water, do not pour it like pour. You will not get that consistency that we need. You need to add the water bit by bit, and as you're adding the water bit by bit, it automatically thickens. When it thickens, do not be scared because you are keep right mixing on track and adding your water bit by bit. This is a very longer process and a part of my formula, my recipe that you cannot skip. It is a must. I don't know how you want to do about it. There are so many formulas that work for individual, but this formula for me has been tested, proven, and it works perfectly. So you keep stirring and you add your water bit by bit. Remember, we've taken 500 ml of water, 500 liters of water. For caustic soda, we took 5,000 liters for SLS rice, and we took 10 liters for sodium sulfate. Altogether, that is 20 liters. And for this, I think we'll use about 10 to 15 liters. I think 10 liters thereabout, that's 30 liters. So we'll have about 20 liters left in the drum if we are to check. But right now, I'm the only one producing, recording, and trying to edit so that you can at least pick one or two things. So I have edited this video. I crop out so many excesses because it will just make the video super boring for you. I'm already approaching the consistency at which I want for this video. The goal is to have an ice cream like paste. That is the consistency we want to achieve, because as you can see, this has really double in size. Without this process, I don't know any other formula. This formula works for me, and I get that transparency that you see on in all your our water platform. The remaining water in your container, we use our EDT. We call it ethylene diamine tetrasulfate acid. Not all vendors have this, before, please, all our chemical vendors list is on our platform. Please do well to work with them because they have everything. So in that water you put your EDT. I also like to also put citric acid along with it to balance my pH effectively and also give my soap this shiny glossy look. Citric acid does that perfect. So this is me trying to measure my EDTA and my citric acid. I measure it separately. This is EDTA. I proceed to pour it in the water. I come back to measure my citric acid and I pour it into the water. These two really dissolve really fast. So most time if you don't have EDTA, you can use AC water, distilled water or rainwater. If you're using ordinary water, I advise that you work with EDT so that it can kill all what's it called, just to purify the water basically. Let me not confuse. And this is me measuring my nitrosol. That is our HPMC. Please do not pre-soak this. Immediately you measure, you add it into your water and you stir very well. If you leave this too long in water, it's going to cake up and then your soap will have so many chunky lumps. After measuring the 300 gram of HPMC needed, I'm going to go to my drum now and then we stir the EDT and citric acid and then we go in with our HPMC. Right now all chemicals have been dissolved because I'm back from church. I think I already spent about 3, 4, 5 hours in church, so we are good to go. So I'm going to give it a very good mix. The nitrosol, especially the nitrosol, so it doesn't cake up. Immediately you add your caustic soda with your nitrosol and you don't get that thick consistency, then you are not using caustic soda. You know we soaked our caustic soda earlier. So this is me pouring my nitrosol and I have to stir it really well. Please use your nose mask because these chemicals are so you can corrosive. See this is my nitrosol. I'm literally stirring gently and be careful, but trust me, you can see that I am using a wooden spatula and we are working with the 15 liters measurement. We are working with 25 liters production to get a 50 liters product. So this is me pouring the caustic soda. You can see the more you pour, the thicker it becomes. So if your step 1 doesn't thicken, please be sure that it is caustic soda you are using and not citric acid. So stir this too very well. When you are done, you can go in with your next production. So I added my citric acid bit by bit. I give it a very good mix, just slightly, not like thoroughly. And then I want to confirm that it's going to thicken, so you can add the remaining. Then you add the remaining caustic soda. You get. So when you add your caustic soda, you mix it very well. I'm literally pouring my caustic soda right now. So you can put your Texapon and sulfonic. After which you give it a very good mix, at least 5 minutes of each, mixture before another. Then you go in with your sodium sulfate and you go in with SLS rice. We already pre-soak all of this. So don't forget, your remaining water takes your EDTA, takes your citric acid, takes your nitrosol, takes your caustic soda, takes your Texapon and sulfonic, takes sodium sulfate, take SLS rice, then we can add other substance. I hope you understand. Please leave a comment below and do not share this video with anybody. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do well to subscribe. I love you. So give it a good mix. Put in the sulfonic and Texapon. That is it. It has all this cake substance at the base. Don't panic. When those chemicals come in contact with each other, it's going to dissolve them. So you stir this very well. Give it a good stir. Of course, your shoulder would know that, oh, you are doing something, because this is not an easy task. But at the end of the day, it is really worth it. Really. So I am stirring. Stir it very well. Give it a good stir like you see it right here. And then you can go in with your other chemicals. If you feel that this is too thick, this is not the time to add water, please, because a 25 liters production for this is a lot. This is me going in with my I think my sodium sulfate right here. Yes, this is my sodium sulfate. You know, we have used caustic soda. That's the first pre-soaked solution we did. We have gone in with what's it called? Our sulfonic and hexapon. We have gone in with sodium sulfate. What is left? Your SLS rice and other products. Please stir at the point of pouring each chemical. Make sure that you stir it really well. So this is me going in with my cocomide. Cocomide is a very strong foaming agent. It makes your soap to lather really well. This measuring cup I think is about 250 or 150. I can't really remember. I think it's about 250, so I'm using 500. I think so. And then you stir very well. By the time you put your cocomide, the soap will thicken. Like it will really be thick. As you can see, the way I'm holding this spatula, so you can tell from my mixing that no, the soap is really thick. So if you want to produce 500 liters, yeah, 50 liters production or 100 liters, just you do the math as I've taught you. Then I'm going next with my cocoa beating. That is a bit lighter than the cocomide, and it also enhances your soap latherness. So when your client say, oh madam, this your soap did not lather really well, that means you did not work with our recipe, you recreated your. It's very important because it helps to protect our clients palm so that they don't have any reaction from our soap. This alone is, it makes the soap to be what every penny that the client has have invested. And most souvenirs job, people use it to wash plates, and that is why I love to do dishwashing from my hair. Some people prefer multi-purpose. Just do you, do what works for you perfectly. So the next thing that you want to add to this is your preservative. So in this video, I'm going to be working with sodium benzoate. There are three things you don't pour directly into your product. Your fragrance, you scoop out at least a little amount of your product and mix your fragrance with it. Your preservative, you don't put it directly into your soap. You scoop out little amount of your soap, put your preservative, and give it a good mix. I'm not saying that you should take extra water. If you notice, I said that the water we are going to be working with has been measured out. Any water outside this, it is irrelevant except when your soap is overly thick. So this is me putting my glycerin, and then you're going to stir very well. You're going to stir what very well. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe, comment, and share. Because spatula to clean the sides of this plastic. So make sure you clean all the sides of your container with your spatula. Those spatula is not for fashion, it's to have a good finishing. So make sure you stir everything thoroughly, as I have said. Make sure that you check the pH level of your soap. At this point, I said that you had your fragrance, your color, and your preservative in a little portion before adding it into your entire soap. But I always advise that you can leave your production without color. Why? Because your clients might say they want green and you have yellow at home. They might say they want blue and you have green at home. So I always leave my soap like this, except I know I'm ready to package everything. So when you are done, you are meant to use a fabric or a towel to cover it so that it can absorb all the moist, so that it can absorb the moist of your production. Then after it has cured for at least 24 hours, do not open the soap 24 to 48 hours. That's why you cannot hurriedly produce. It takes time. You're supposed to sieve because there are some dates that you can't see. You might think that, oh, my soap is near but you need to sieve your soap, right? So don't forget, I'm literally just making this to make it super explanatory and easy for everyone who wants to do this. I didn't use a mixing machine, so you have no excuse. Do you understand? So I think I'm trying to measure my fragrance here. this is my fragrance, but I will pour it into a little portion that I have measured out, and I will stir it. You will notice that by the time you add your fragrance into a little portion, it's going to lighten up the soap to be so watery. It will look like, hey, is this what I want to do? Do you understand? Your fragrance, your color, they are your unique selling point. So you don't give out your fragrance choice to anybody. So this is a little portion I measure out, and then I mix and then add to my soap. After adding it to my soap, I'll give my soap a very good mix. Like, you mix it very well. Don't just mix it that because you are tired. If you're tired, get someone to help you. You know, finishing is important, and you need that consistency. So don't make your soap too light in this stage, because if it is too light and your soap finish curing, it might be too watery. So don't say, this soap is too thick, let me add water. Don't add water. Leave it until you are done. Do you understand? Don't rush. You're not in a hurry. So when you want to get a job, at least give your client 7 to 8 working days. By that time, you have sort your bottles, sort your chemicals, produce. Even you personally, you are settled to do content and, you know, give to your followers. So this is the pH level of my soap. It is balanced, like there's no stress. Do you understand? So after which, cover your soap for 24 to 48 hours. You see, this is my soap after 48 hours. It's literally like water. Then you check your pH level. After all those chemicals have sit thoroughly together, the pH level was too alkaline. This is like purple, so I had to start balancing with citric acid, and this is what we achieve. Like, this is what we're producing for. Do you understand? You balance your pH level with citric acid. But I think I'll just work with another video, and I hope you've been able to get one or two from this whole video. Thank you so much. Please let me know your questions and everything. Keep learning, keep creating content, because you're the best. Bye.